up, you guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Real Debates, episode 7. And man, this has been an amazing season 2. We are wrapping this season up quite quickly. It's actually going by kind of faster than I thought. But this particular debate is going to be probably the biggest debate that we have had on my YouTube channel, because we have the topic of the debate is, what is the funniest movie of all time? And I had to get our special guest on the show, Mr. Holden Hartman, versus a reoccurring guest, Mr. Ian Elliott Carter from the Controversity, back on the show. Man, how you guys feel about the debate? Well, how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Comedy's very subjective. Comedy's very subjective topic, but it's probably one of my favorite genres, so I can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I would say it's probably the most subjective genre, I think. So I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. We have two iconic movies going at it, and it's Airplane versus 21 Jump Street. And Holden will be repping Airplane, and Ian will be repping 21 Jump Street. This is going to be, I hope, a hilarious match given the topic of this conversation, but I can't wait to get into it. But if this is your very first time ever watching, here are the rules. There are 3 rounds. Each competitor has 2 minutes per round to state their case. Now, in the first round, it's the introduction round, where they they give us our introduction of their movie. They break it down within their 2-minute time span. The second round is my favorite round, the battle round. Now, in this round, they get to go at each other. They can pick apart their movies. They can make some contrasting statements. A lot of funny stuff happens in the battle round. In the final statements round, that is the round where they have the opportunity to wrap things up or continue attacking. Now, it has been it has happened on Real Debates where we would have sudden death. Now, if both of their arguments are like really good and I can't decide, they'll have one additional round to make their case, which is only 1 minute in that round. Now that I have said the rules, and Holden's a new competitor on the show, we're going to have Holden pick a number between 1 and 25. So go ahead and pick your number, Holden.
14.
Okay, what about you, Ian?
I'm going to stick with my favorite number, 9.
Well, that was close because the number was 11. So, Ian, would you like to go first or would you like to go second?
I'm going to let our guest go first.
Okay.
I'm going to keep the peace for now.
I hate you. Okay. All right. I got my timer ready. And Holden, you have 2 minutes to introduce your movie. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the debate is funniest movie of all time. So I want to look for a timeless film that still holds up today, because anyway, Airplane is a very random comedy. It's about just all these hijinks that happen on an airplane. And it's really this sort of random humor that I thoroughly enjoy. Y'all are really intense with this too. I'm like going in, like, yeah, I like 21 Jump Street. That's going to be a fun one. You're like, man, I'm going to kill this man. He thinks Airplane's the funniest movie. Like, oh, okay, well, that's how we're doing this. Okay. But so there are movies that I think that are pretty dang funny. I think like Tropic Thunder, for example, is hilarious, but I know that that's a particular type of humor. Whereas I think Airplane probably has the most amount of jokes that happen throughout that the most amount of people can enjoy. I think that the humor in that is pretty timeless. The part where he's walking through the airplane and people are like, can you join Jehovah's Witness? And he you want to do this? And he's just trying to get through. I think all of that is just hilarious. So that's just where I stand, man. I love 21 Jump Street, but in terms of it being well, people still think it's hilarious in another 10, 20 years in comparison to a classic like Airplane, I'm not so sure.
Awesome. You had about 33 seconds left in that round. Dope introduction. I love how you compared Tropic Thunder to Airplane, and I'm giving your gist of the show about how serious we are. Yes, on Real Debates, we do not play on this game. By the way, Holden, since you're new, I'm just letting you know, if you mess up a name, there will be an instant replay.
They will.
There will be
okay.
Multiple times with me. Yes.
Okay.
that way. Yeah, Ian knows that very well. It happened to me too. Even the host, it's happened to me. So now, Ian, you have the very same 2 minutes to introduce your movie, 21 Jump Street. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Man, let's take it back to the year, I believe 2012, 13, or 14, one of those 3 years. I'm not going to get the year right, but this movie had no business being as good as it was, because this is a time where everyone's like, again with the sequels, again with the remakes. When we hear 21 Jump Street, a basic television show from the 80s, wasn't supposed to do good. Channing Tatum, not a funny person. Who gives a shit about Channing Tatum, the guy from Step Up? So this movie was nobody cared about this, but as soon as it came out, boy, did it exceed expectations. The bar was this low, and not only did it exceed the bar, but it raised the bar when it came to comedies. Let me tell you some of my favorite scenes from this movie, man. I want to talk about how relatable the high school scenes are. Like, how Jonah Hill was kind of a geek, and then Channing Tatum was a popular kid. I love how they reverse those roles later on in the movie to show so they can step up their comedy in some of these role reversals. I love the high speed chase. That was something you would probably see in like an airplane movie, like a spoof movie. I love Ice Cube breaking stereotype, or calling out his stereotype of being the angry black person. I love the fight during the play. That was funny as hell. And I loved the party fight too. But I can just keep naming on some of the funniest moments of this movie. But the reason I love this movie so much is just because it just exceeded the expectations. And it kind of, it's a remake, but it's not. It was very original, but self-aware at the same time. And yeah, that right there in the 2000s made it my favorite comedy of all time. Who would think, we want to talk about something that's fairly newish, but is it really new? It's almost 10 years old now. So a movie doesn't have to be old for you to put it up there at a high scale. And that's why I love 21 Jump Street. It surprised me. And I quote it all the time. And it's one of those movies where I have to share clips sometimes. And it had a very funny sequel. I think the first one's funnier, but unlike my opponent, his sequel sucked. But my sequel was pretty good.
2 minutes. There we go. Thank you. Okay. I love how you put together how that it's not an old film. It was based off a TV show, and basically it repurposed it. I like how you brought it back to, this movie was not expected to be funny, Channing Tatum from Step Up and all these different elements. And when you saw the movie, it definitely exceeded expectations. I would definitely give my full deliberations on both rounds for both competitors on the end of the match. Now we're going to jump into the battle round. Now, in this round, like I stated before in the introduction, they can get into what makes their movie better than the other and why their movie sucks, essentially. Again, they have 2 minutes per round to attack one another and go after each other. Now, Holden went first in the first round. Ian will be going first in this round. So, Ian, your 2 minutes for this round starts now.
All right, before I start out, I don't want to seem like a airplane hater. I rewatched it, still holds up, still funny. But I want to quote something Holden said. This is a timeless movie. Is it though? Let's talk about some. Let's just talk about some of the. Let's just talk about some of the things in this movie. So my movie, 21 Jump Street, calls out stereotypes. There's a scene where Ice Cube is just all like, "Yeah, I'm an angry black man."
Angry black captain. It ain't nothing but a stupid stereotype.
And I've worked my ass up to be a captain, so I'm stereotyped as the angry black guy. You guys should always take care of your stereotypes, or embrace your stereotypes. You Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber looking motherfuckers. Quote was something like that. Your movie. There was a scene I watched where it was like, they're doing the translation of the black characters, of the black voices. I'll give it to it. It's funny, but the difference between your movie and my movie is yours is kind of making fun of black people. Ours is like calling out the stereotypes that the movies bring in.
See a broad to get that booty ackle? Leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Oh, got to be.
So that's one thing I want to say about that. And call me old fashioned, but I don't think child molestation's that funny. There was a lot of that in that movie. A lot of that, but Holden might think that's funny. That's all him. Direct all that to him. Another thing I want to say about this is dad jokes at the best. You know, they're funny. I chuckle at all these jokes, but at the end of the day, like I said, they're just like playground jokes that you hear, you know, when you're 12, 13, or 14 years old, like, don't call me Shirley. Oh, what is a hospital? It's a place where people live in. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, great.
Or can't you take a guess? Well, not for another 2 hours. You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
Mine has setups. Mine, you know, it's a cohesive story that sets up, you know, real events, and that makes you like, oh shit, I can relate to that. Oh, that was funny as hell.
Worry about the dealer.
God damn. Infiltrate the dealers, find the supplier.
They're on drugs right now? What the hell? This is crazy. Yours is just like joke after joke after joke after joke. And like, hey, let's look at a flashback of this guy's sorry life because he can't get his girlfriend. Who gives a damn about this guy and his girlfriend problems, man? I want to see some action.
2 minutes. That was good. That was actually good. You
Jeez.
caught out.
I ain't playing with you, Holden. This is crazy.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I got some rebuttals.
Let me just say real quickly, I agree with quite frankly with some of the things that he had said. I do agree that Airplane does have a lot of dad jokes. It is dad jokes at best to a degree. But I won't give my full deliberations of what until the end. But yeah, I liked some of the points that he put out. Yeah, so okay. Holden. Now, again, Holden, you're new to the game. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about 21 Jump Street and make compare and contrast. You can make as many rebuttals as you want. You have 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, I won't make this whole thing rebuttals. I'll add a couple things. If we want to pretend that 21 Jump Street is the moral high ground of not insulting minorities, what about the Mexican peoples that Channing Tatum? My name's Jeff. Yeah, that was real highbrow.
That's from 22 Jump Street, by the way.
Oh, excuse me.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I would put, and the thing is, I like 21 Jump Street. I don't think it sucked. I think it's really funny. But in terms of the debate is the funniest movie of all time. Now, you're right. I do agree that it doesn't have to be an older movie to necessarily hold that title. But if I were to start comparing movies that I think are funnier than 21 Jump Street, I would have a longer list. I think The Other Guys, for example, is significantly funnier than 21 Jump Street. Whereas Airplane might be a lot of dad jokes. I mean, I would say that there are a lot of dad jokes in it. And I think dad jokes are funny, which is one of the reasons that I chose it.
We'd like you to have this flower from the Church of Religious Conscience.
But no, I don't think that 21 Jump Street is like this. I don't know. I disagree that it was expected to be a bomb. It was expected to fail because Jonah Hill was in Superbad prior to that, and that was hilarious. So people, I think, were expecting his next few movies to be up there in comedy. So I don't think that it came in as like swooped in and all of a sudden, this unexpected hit.
Holy shit, you are looking fit. Oh. Hey!
I also think that Airplane, while you think it might be a dad joke central, was also more original. I mean, 21 Jump Street had source material, whereas Airplane was a lot more original, in my opinion. I'm looking at a couple other movies that I think we talked about it being subjective. I think Not Another Teen Movie is stupid humor, but I would say is probably funnier than 21 Jump Street in terms of me like watching it, wanting like a few laughs.
Oh, what?
I would watch something like that over 21 Jump Street. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at anyway. In terms of timeless, I think Airplane beats it.
2 minutes. I
Not
love
another teen movie. Better than 21 Jump Street. Okay.
I love what Holden did. And I want you guys to catch this. And again, I'll give a full breakdown in the deliberations. He talked about other movies that are funnier than the movie that Ian is debating. Now, granted, I understand that the topic is what is the funniest movie, but he made an excellent point that I tend to agree with, that there are other movies that he brought up that are funnier than 21 Jump Street. I will not give Holden points to that reference of making fun of other stereotypicals because Ian's right. I did a quick fact check. That was 22.
Oh,
Jump
excuse
Street,
me, 22 Jump Street.
not 21. So, but he is right though. 21 Jump Street. They kind of do, but it's not really hinted on until the sequel. So, but that's not the movie we're debating. Now we're gonna go to final statements, the final round, guys. Now, this round, they can say whatever they want to say. They can wrap things up. Both competitors have 2 minutes. Now, last time we started with Ian. Now we're going to start with Holden. Now, Holden, again, our newcomer on the show, you have 2 minutes to wrap things up, or you can continue attacking, but just know you have 2 minutes. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Yeah, it feels so weird. I don't like attacking. I enjoy 21 Jump Street. I feel this comes off as like I hate it. I don't. We did talk about how comedy is the most subjective topic. What I find funny, Ian may not. I like that dad joke type of thing, but the topic is the funniest movie of all time. And while I think that 21 Jump Street is funny, I think that more people, especially over the period of time, would find Airplane funny, and the type of humor and the quick-wittedness of that.
All right. Request vector. Over. What?
Flight 209er, clear for vector 324.
We have clearance. You might relate to the angry black men stereotype and then poking fun at that in Hollywood movies.
Get the fuck out.
But that may not be something that everyone finds hilarious. Some people might get offended by that. So I think in terms of the funniest movie of all time, I think a wider audience would find Airplane funny, as it has stood the test of time. As you yourself said, still holds up. Whereas 21 Jump Street, I think is hilarious, but I acknowledge that it's not a movie I could see everybody finding hilarious, or at least most people finding hilarious compared to Airplane. That's my stance.
Awesome. With 47 seconds to spare. Now, Ian has the same 2 minutes. And Ian, you can say whatever you want to say as well. Your 2 minutes for this round starts now.
All right, I got to call out even the moderator on this one. But your point about, he's right, there are funnier movies than 21 Jump Street. Okay, I can say the same thing about Airplane. There are funnier movies than Airplane. Okay, that wasn't really a point in my opinion, but okay. All right, let's get, like we all agreed, movies are subjective.
Yeah.
Movies are subjective, especially comedies. So I'm going to agree with Holden when he says this one does stand a test of time. It is. A lot of great parody movies, like Scary Movie, Not Another Teen Movie, a lot of stuff like this wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for this classic parody / spoof movie called Airplane.
Thank you.
With that being said, Holden, sir, there hasn't been enough time for 21 Jump Street to be in this conversation of, standing the test of time. Like I said, it's been like what, almost, it hasn't even been 10 years. I want to put all my money on it that it will be in the conversation as Airplane in the next, Airplane is 30 years, over 40 years old? Give it some time to flesh out. In my opinion, it will be in that conversation. But you want to make this an unfair advantage of like, hey, my movie's older, so it's funny. I think Blazing Saddles, which is older, is a funnier movie. Damn! In my opinion, so you can have your dad jokes and you can go to the nursing home and just repeat them to each other. But in this generation, this century, we are moving on. We're evolving into different humors. We're going to joke about racism. We're going to joke about sexism. We're going to joke about drugs. We're going to be with the times. And you can just keep with the whole child molestation in the cockpit jokes if you want. we're going to have more relatable jokes to the times. All right. And we're going to leave you in the past, brother. And that's my time.
Okay, 17 seconds. I'm taking points from Ian for the attack on the moderator. I'm kidding. But Ian didn't make a point. Yes, he's right. That yes, there are other funnier movies than Airplane as well. But I also said in that very same quote that the topic is which is the funniest movie. Just want to throw that out there for the people who are watching. Now we have gotten done with the final statements. Now it's time for my deliberations. I've already made a judgment that there will be no sudden death because there's definitely a clear winner in this match. Now let's jump into the first round. Holden started off by basically giving somewhat of a general statement of Airplane about how the hijinks of Airplane, how you can compare it to certain movies like Tropic Thunder, that yes, comedy is subjective. And on top of that, like it is a good film that does stand the test of time. So I like how he broke that down, even though it was short and concise. I like how he put that together, but I also like how Ian gave us a full backstory of 21 Jump Street, how it started off as a TV show, then ultimately it evolved into a movie. I do agree with Ian that when I first heard about 21 Jump Street coming out, I mean, I knew about the show, but I wasn't necessarily into it because of like who was involved. Now, to Ian's point, I was not like excited for it until I saw the trailer. So he does make a point. Yeah, he does make a good point. He also makes a good point. It is relatable. Ice Cube does call out a lot of stereotypical things about himself and also other white people. So I love how they broke that down. So the first round, if I had to compare the two, I would definitely give the first round to Ian. Ian did an amazing job breaking down the introduction round. Now we're going to jump into the second round. Now in the second round, this was Holden's turn to Holden and Ian's turn to break down each part's movie. Now, Ian made a comment earlier that Airplane will stand the test of time. In his introduction round, he then said, I don't know if Airplane is timeless. Holden said in the battle round, you just said that it stood the test of time, but you don't know if it's timeless. It doesn't make sense. It's like a play upon words. So yes, I get what you're saying. Yes, it definitely is. It does stand the test of time, but how is it not timeless if it stands the test of time?
Because it's detrimental to my argument. That's why.
Because now Holden also did say that Airplane is original. You're not basing it really off of anything. It does have its own original script basing off its own dad jokes. Yes, you can make the argument that there's certain things that are somewhat out of date, but I just watched Airplane last night, so I can get a refresher of it, and I laughed. So I get it. Like, I love how he broke down how you can compare Airplane to any other film, and it still would be funny. I love how he broke down that Jonah Hill was like how he said about 21 Jump Street. He said, I don't know if I agree with 21 Jump Street not being so funny because Jonah Hill just left Superbad, which is actually true. That last project was Superbad. Jonah Hill came to 21 Jump Street, which kind of drove the momentum, lack of a better word, for that movie. So I do agree with that. However, I do love what Ian said in the battle round. He said that Airplane is dad jokes. He's right. It is dad jokes for a lot of it. Child molestation. Yeah, there is a lot of that in that movie. They make a lot of jokes about that in the movie, and they're just oddly comfortable.
Oddly too many of them too. Like one's okay, but like 9, like really?
And I love the fact that he put into context that 21 Jump Street in the battle round does reflect on more current things. So calling out stereotypes, not being the angry black man, quote unquote. And I actually enjoyed that argument because he was right. Like, yes, that 21 Jump Street is funny throughout the movie, and they hit on some modern things that relate to a lot of millennials like ourselves. So I really enjoyed both competitors in that battle round, especially Ian, because he's right. Because when I watched that movie, I'm like, how the hell is that funny? So for the battle round, I was leaning towards Holden, but when he made the comment about the child molestation jokes, he's right. That was hilarious. So I have to give that battle round to Ian. So Ian takes the battle round. Now we're going into the final round. Final round, I think I'm gonna start with Ian. Ian took it upon himself to address that, yes, I can make the point that other movies are better than 21 Jump Street or Airplane. Like, he's right. Like, there are other comedy movies. Comedy is subjective. But I love how he brought it back when he said that 21 Jump Street would definitely be in the conversation of funny movies of all time, just like Airplane is. And he's actually right. There's a reason why there is a 22 Jump Street. I'm sure there'll be a 23 Jump Street. And if I look at the 21 Jump Street does stand the test of time. I had to take points off from Holden when he made that racial reference about 22 Jump Street, because that is not the movie that's not the movie that Ian's debating. But I will say this, in 21 Jump Street, there are definitely some racial things that happen in that movie. I just wish you could have harped on that just a little bit in that movie. So I love how Ian brought that back up with his final statements. But Holden's final statements, how he said that the Airplane will stand the test of time. It will. It's still a funny movie. It's very original. There are a lot of other movies that are funnier in comparison to it. And he's right. It is a movie that will reach the masses. I can show my child to a degree Airplane and we can have a good time.
You gonna scar your kid with the cockpit scene?
I don't know about that part, but I mean, but I couldn't show like come on.
Your kid's gonna go to school talking to the black kids. The white kids are gonna go to school talking to black kids and jive and shit.
21 Jump Street is definitely not a walk in the park in comparison.
You're right though. I'd show my son Airplane before 21 Jump Street.
Exactly. Like, and I love the point that he made in that wrap up when he said that it's a movie for everyone. Now, yes, there are definitely a lot of things that I disagree with that happen in that movie, but I feel more comfortable as a person and a parent to watch that movie with my family than I do 21 Jump Street to a degree. That's like a very thin line margin. So when I compare,
but that makes it funnier then, huh? That it's safe for your kids.
just a little bit funnier. Just a little bit funny. Please, in the comment section, do not hate me. Okay.
A movie's funny because you can watch it with your kids. I get it.
Shut up, Ian. Okay. You are not the moderator. All right. I will mute your ass on this. Okay. All right. Now that we've gotten through the final statements, if I compare the two and I look at notes, I have to agree with Ian that yes, Airplane is more of a watchable, funnier movie. It does stand the test of time. And he had a great wrap up. It wasn't more so about attacking. He even acknowledged in the last round, like, I don't like attacking 21 Jump Street because I like the movie, but I have to say Airplane is more of an accessible movie. So I have to give him the third round. Now, obviously, us who can do math, Ian has 2, Holden has 1. So Ian takes the W for this win of Real Debates. Ian did an amazing job.
Oh, that did hurt. Honestly, as much as I'm attacking this movie, I did watch it. I was cracking up. Even the child molestation shit was funny. I can't even
I could add one other thing too, especially since I lost the debate. I think that Airplane is also in this period of time where I feel like
was okay. I get it.
Well, no, just a joke was a joke, I guess. Whereas now you have to be so much more careful.
Yeah.
You have to really screen yourself. I mean, even with 21 Jump Street, I wouldn't say it was happening then per se, but it was starting to. Where what all can we joke about? Can we joke about gay people? Can we joke about child? And it just be a joke. It's changed.
21 Jump Street was definitely walking that line. That's why I don't excuse, like, I can't, if you really compare the two, like 21 Jump Street is not a walk in the park in comparison. It's not.
Here's an argument Holden could have used. Channing Tatum, not Channing Tatum, but Jonah Hill's character's kind of hooking up with a high schooler and he's a grown man. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Like if Holden was a little bit more of that, and also like, and I know that reference you did bring up in 22 Jump Street was hilarious, but something like that does happen in 21 Jump Street. Not that similar, but Ice Cube, there's a reason why they have one black man in that movie. And I wish you could have just really got into that.
I didn't have the opportunity, but I was going to say, you're saying 21 Jump Street is the funniest movie of all time, but the most quotable line is not even in the first movie. It's "I am Jeff. My name's Jeff" from the second movie.
No, actually, the second movie has one of my favorite scenes of all time. Whenever Ice Cube finds out Jonah Hill's been having sex with his daughter. The funniest scene of all time. But I felt like 21 Jump Street was just an overall better, had more jokes. Now you're right though. It was more quotable, but as me laughing at, I found myself laughing a little bit more with this one.
Yeah. I don't even think Airplane is not my favorite comedy, but when I think of of all time, that's where I lean kind of more to it after kind of trying to look at it kind of from a more objective lens, I guess.
I wasn't mad at that choice.
I love Hot Rod is one of my favorite movies, and that is such a specific type of humor. It's my type of humor.
Yeah.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I like that dad humor, I guess. That's my type of humor.
See, I like awkward comedy. See, I like 40-Year-Old Virgin, of course, 21 Jump Street. Stuff like that just puts you situational type of stuff. That's my bread and butter.
Because with comedy, you can the reactions are you're gonna think it's funny, you're gonna not think it's funny, maybe.
Yeah.
You could get offended or you could get angry. I mean, the spectrum of reaction to comedy is huge, you know. So You know, when you start including things like race and child molestation, that's when you start going into I'm going to be offended or angry, you know. So
hey, it's a battle. It's a battle. Like I said, those scenes are funny as heck, but I just had to battle you. I just had to say something.
Yeah.
I mean, both of y'all did an amazing job for Holden's first time.
Yeah, good job, man.
I won't say who, because I still love and respect the first timers who've been on here. You've done a lot better than some who've been on here and that's not a shot to any of you guys who are watching. I'm just saying that Holden actually did a really good job.
I'll say it. You did better than John Knight, sir. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. I tell you, I was not expecting it to be so heated. I'm like, wow, getting to chat with Ian about Airplane and 21 Can't wait. And then I got Ian over here. Holden, I'm about to tweet you, man. I'm going to destroy you.
You have to watch the show. You have to watch. And this is why I said, and I hope everyone's watching because it will be in the video. Ian tweeted Holden, and I told Ian before we start, I said, if you lose, I'm putting this tweet in so that way they can see what happens when you talk shit.
Hey, so, you know what? You know what I should get for winning? I think Holden should follow me on Twitter. I think that should be my victory. Yes. I gained a new friend today.
You know what?
I'll follow you on Twitter.
I'm so glad we actually mend those fences now. Ian has
what fences needed to be mended? There were broken fences.
No. I love Holden, man. I love all your stuff, especially God in the MCU. I love the recent one.
Thank you.
Holden's amazing
Soul.
when it comes
really
to his
good.
content. Oh man, like super dope. One day we both hope to get to that level of creativity because that's just crazy. Everything that you're doing, man.
Everything you're at, man, you deserve. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't follow you on Twitter. I'm really not active on Twitter. Only every once in a while will I even be on there. So
I took it personal. I'm just kidding.
I don't want to follow you. Get the hint. No, it's not like that. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, this was such an whoa.
Shut that dog up.
This was such an amazing match. So I really do enjoy both my competitors being on. Holden, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
My YouTube, Holden Hardman. Just type it in. And Twitter, it's HT Hardman. I rarely am on there. Every once in a while I'll post something, but I'm probably more active on Instagram, which is at Holden T Hardman. If you want to follow me there.
And everyone who's following Ian, please unfollow him now that he finally has his follower. Please.
I only wanted Holden. Y'all can get the hell out of here. I'm just playing.
Ian, where can we find you on YouTube and social media?
All right, you can go to youtube.com/thecontroversity, where I'm trying to do a little bit more deep dive in movies, and we do live stream every Wednesday. I'm trying to go back to doing the live stream on Wednesdays, but I'm gonna steer away from trending topics at the moment, but I want to do more deep dive into to movies and television. And if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you can go to _controversity, and let's have some of these discussions. I love pop culture. I love hip hop. Come at me, bro. Let's be friends.
Yeah, really good. Both great content creators, and I follow them both and I watch all their stuff, so they're really good when it comes to putting out that stuff. You know where to find us here at Momentum Media. You guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you get all the updates of every time I'm putting out a video here on my channel. And as always, you guys have a blessed day.